join us on all our social media platforms at OSBC TV and Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. Yes, on today we are discussing insurance, the pains and the gain. Yeah, insurance is a contract between an individual or business with an insurance company to help provide financial protection and mitigate the risk associated with certain situations or events. Yeah, there are various types of insurance available. We have health, dental, vision, life, auto, and legal insurance. Yes, and we have our guest here, Mr. Dele Alamu. He's an insurance broker and he is up to the task. For those of us that are not aware or don't know what it really takes when it comes to insurance, he is here this morning to give us different insights on it. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Yeah. Sir, when it comes to insurance, I know you are up to the task because you are an insurance broker. Can you provide a brief overview of the role of insurance in personal and business finances?
Well, insurance, as you have enumerated, is just a kind of protection against fortuitous loss. So insurance provides financial compensation. It alleviates the burden of economic loss. So because when you tell people to do life policy, for example, they say, no, in Jesus' name, that is not my portion. But when it occurs, the insurance cannot bring life back, but it will alleviate the burden on the dependent that the deceased left behind. So that is why insurance, to be succinctly put, is just a kind of alleviation of the financial burden of loss.
Interesting. What are the main types of insurance and why should people consider it?
Well, broadly speaking, insurance is divided into two. We have general insurance that deals with property, and then we have life insurance. We have different type of life policy too. So let me come to general. We start from the vehicles we put on the road. In fact, government makes it compulsory that every vehicle owner must have a minimum of third-party insurance on his vehicle before he or she can put that vehicle on the road, which makes it a criminal act to drive your vehicle without a minimum of third-party motor insurance. And what the government intends is to protect the public. It's not that government wants to assist insurance company to make money. No, it is to protect the public, because you cannot say that due to your negligence you cause damage or loss of life and you are now begging that I'm out of pocket because somebody damaged my car one day. I was telling you, I've been away for some time, I don't have money. He could not give me anything and he did not have insurance. So that's what government wants to protect against. So we have other classes of motor insurance like comprehensive, which provide for loss of your vehicle, maybe due to damage or by theft or by fire. Then we have fire for buildings and every other property like stocks. Then we have the burglary for the stocks. So all these our market women, this kind of fire insurance supposed to have it, because most of the time when they have fire losses, they cry to the government that government should come and assist them. They always look upon the government, and the government has many challenges on their finances too. So but if you have insurance policy, you just take up your policy and make a claim and get compensation. In fact, that compensation will be adequate, will be more adequate than going through government, because government can only afford a kind of some amount compensation just to assist people. But insurance should be encouraged by all our market women, our shop owners, our businessmen, traders, and so on. So that is for fire and burglary. Then we have engineering insurances that cover equipment. We have marine for importation, all imported. In fact, government has made that compulsory, that when you are importing, you must have insurance, because they know that most of the time banks are involved and they don't want these banks to lose their money due to financial loss that occur when bringing those goods in. So then other categories, we also have liability insurance. So which, like, we have public liability, that as I'm here now, may God forbid, if I step on the ties and fall down, the public liability of OSBC TV will assist you to pay for my maybe medicals, and if you trust to death, then you pay to my family. So that is public liability. We have product liability. Some of us consume product and we find that the products do not meet the standard. You can sue the producer of that product, and their public liability insurance will take over. We have professional indemnity, which every, like our own profession, we must have professional indemnity. But if I advise you take this policy and the advice is wrong, you can sue me and get compensation. Likewise, our doctors, they're supposed to have professional indemnity, because operations may go wrong, not directly due to their negligence. And we have seen cases where the public are now aware of their right and they are claiming against medical practitioners. So it is that if they have insurance policy like professional indemnity, it is that professional indemnity that will assist them to pay whatever claims that arise from that incident. So we also have fidelity guarantee policy. All the banks, you see, they move money around, they have insurance, because sometimes you hear about armed robbery attacks on these
highways and all.
So it is, they fall back to insurance to get compensation. So money insurance, fidelity. I had an experience where somebody called me, sir, I have a claim, my driver stole my car, he drove it away. I said, no, that is not a claim under motor insurance. That is fidelity guarantee. That is insincerity of your driver, which is supposed to be under fidelity guarantee. So when you have staff that handle company property, they handle cars, you're supposed to have fidelity insurance, so that when devil takes over them and they misbehave, they become smarter and they go away with your property or your money, you can make claim from your insurance company. That's under fidelity guarantee. I have another experience where a petrol station manager went to bank to deposit cash, but he was just developed cleverness. He traveled out of Nigeria with the money, that huge amount. So the company has to come to us for claim on fidelity guarantee, because they have that policy in place. So we have other classes that I may not be able to mention due to time, but it is always advisable that you consult your insurance broker to identify the risk you are exposed to, and that broker will advise you appropriately the type of insurance policy that you need. On the life, we have the group life, which is very compulsory by law for every employer of labor that has more than 3 or more staff. Like Osun State government is doing well in that area. Osun State government has group life for all their employees in the state. All their employees are being insured under life policy. And what the government intends is that when somebody is working and death occurs in the course of service, that person family supposed to be compensated, so that the burden of that financial burden on the family will be reduced. Imagine somebody that is on maybe 1 million per annum, and they can provide 3 million to the family as compensation because of the death of the spouse. So that family, they can do something with that 3 million, so they will bounce back. So we have credit risk. When you take loan from bank will insist that you must have a credit life policy, so that credit life policy they will insure the amount of loan they are giving. So if death occurs, the bank will be assured that they will not run after your family, just go to insurance and get compensation. We have mortgage protection too against building. So when you take loan to build house, you have mortgage for it. So the mortgage provider will not come and take over your property if you have mortgage insurance. You will just go to the insurance and get the money back.
That is interesting. So for all that you've mentioned now, I know people shy away from insurance, because most times, like you said before, when you started talking about, when you tell people to go for insurance, they will say, God forbid. They say, maybe apart from being sarcastic about it, they're saying God forbid, I feel they feel the money they are asked to pay, or the monthly dues they are meant to pay to insure, they feel maybe it's too much. Or what do you think, sir?
Well, the insurance premium paid on each policy is very, very, very cheap. I can say even ridiculous, because when you compare the risk, the value of risk, and the premium you pay for it, You have a choice. For example, now for a life policy, if you want to insure your life, for 1 million, the minimum is 6,000 naira per annum. So if somebody can afford, yes, 6,000. So if somebody can afford 6,000 to protect himself for 1 million naira, so that means that that person is not just willing. It's not because of cost. Because somebody buys car of 10 million naira and they ask him to pay 500,000 to protect 10 million naira worth of vehicle. So that person cannot afford 500,000 to protect 10 million, because if loss occurs, he has to look for another 10 million to buy another car, which someone will provide for him or her. So the cost is not always the reason why people don't insure. One is our religious beliefs. I went to a chamber. The head of that chamber wanted to insure all the lawyers in the chamber. You know, one lawyer argued that, no, I don't want insurance, so if you do life insurance, you will die. If you do burglary, robbers will come and attack you. So that is the belief, the religious belief, prevent people from taking insurance. And insurance is just a wise decision to protect your future. And no religion will say don't protect your future. Then another issue is ignorance. I used to tell people that if I were a policy taker, that is, I'm a government officer that can enforce laws, I will make study of insurance a general study at higher institutions, so that everybody will appreciate the importance of insurance. So many people don't understand how it operates. It is ignorance that prevents some people to do it, some religious beliefs, but not because of price.
Interesting. How has the insurance industry evolved in recent years?
Well, you know, like every business in Nigeria, people started with small capital. But now with regulations, presently insurance is operating on 25 billion naira minimum capital. So that is to tell you that they have enough capacity to take most of the risk. There are high risks that we also insure outside Nigeria, because insurance is international by nature. So we have high risk, like all these oil rigs. So when we say we want to retain them, some of our companies may go yonder, but we do insure through reinsurance outside the country. So, and then insurance companies are coming up. We have some insurance that are specialized on life only. We call them life offices. Then we have those that are dealing with general business only. Then we have composite, those that do with life and general business.
Interesting. So, you know, you've been talking all this, you've been telling us why it's good to insure, why it's good we should do this and all that, and I know people are listening and they're watching us. But what are the common frustrations or pain consumers face when dealing with insurance company? Or are there no pains or frustrations?
If I tell you there are no pains, I will be lying, and it's not good to lie on a national television. There are pains people go through, and some of the pains emanate from ignorance too. You know, insurance, unlike other financial sectors, when you enter into an insurance contract, they will give you what you call a policy document, a contract document that spells out all the terms and conditions guarding that contract.
And most people don't read.
Most people don't read. We don't have a good reading culture in this part of the world. So most people don't read. And that is one of the reasons it's advisable to go through your insurance broker, because we are professionals. We understand the terms. Even when I see a policy, I glance through it, I understand the terms and conditions. But for somebody that is not a professional to go into an insurance contract, he must take time to read all the terms and conditions and be guided by it. For example, insurance will tell you that if you insure your motor with us, if there is claim, if you have accident, you must inform us within 30 days. Somebody has come to me, he had an accident in March, he came to me in September to notify me that he had a loss. So such policy, the insurance may not pay such a claim. Then so ignorance is one of it. Then some people, out of saving cost, they will not insure, they will not give adequate value when they insure. For example, if your vehicle is worth 10 million naira, you now say because you want to pay enough, you insure it for 5 million. If the car is stolen, they will only pay you based on 5 million.
Yeah.
So that's one of the pains people go through. Then another one is that insurance will insist on claims document. They want to see evidence that you suffer loss. So some people they go through hell before they get this document. In fact, some may not even get the document. For example, that person that I told you that had accident, he did not report it late. I wanted to assist him, but to get medical report, because it involved injury, to get medical report was difficult for him. He could not get medical bills for me to assist him to pursue,
because he was not documenting.
So documentation is very important to get your claim. Then time, because insurance will also investigate, because we are acting on trust. We are keeping people's money. We are just pool managers. So if you don't manage the trust very well, then we will not be able to fulfill all our obligations. We have had incidents where somebody's vehicle was not stolen and he reported that the car was stolen. So if insurance was not painstaking enough to get those facts, they will just pay that money. So that is why insurance will take time to investigate your claim and ensure that you really suffer loss.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that what challenges do people often face encounter during claims process, but you've mentioned,
yes.
You've mentioned it now.
And then another problem they also face is time, because some people, when you are, for example, if you have a commercial bus that is generating revenue for you every day, and that bus has accident, you'll be anxious to fix it immediately, but there are procedures insurance will follow. So that is a pain to the people, owner of the
they don't really have the patience. But what can insurance company do to hasten it?
Well, it all depends, because insurance will tell you, if I get claims document now, submit to insurance, within 24-48 hours they will issue their DV. Then if I sign the DV, within 24-48 hours, at most 72 hours, they will issue your pay. They will transfer the money to your account. But when you issue DV to a client, that is discharge voucher, and the client is taking time, he is too busy to sign the DV within 7 days, you don't expect insurance to pay you money without signing that discharge voucher. So most of the delays are from the insured, not the insurance company.
That's interesting. So in your experience, what are some misconceptions people have about insurance?
Thank you. Well, people think that insurance is not real, that insurance is I've heard somebody said insurance is a legalized 419. Because people give a bad name to a dog to hang it, because people don't want to tell you that I'm not interested in insurance. They will not tell you no, insurance is 419. And that's why most of the time when I handle a scheme, I used to publicize it, so that people would know that instead of saying na lie, you know that insurance na true. And people are now beginning to realize that insurance is real. You see, there was a loss in about I think around 2007-2009 to a particular conglomerate, and insurance pay a claim of 5 billion naira. Nigerian insurance,
wow,
a claim of 5 billion naira to that particular company. And the most common loss we have in Nigeria that is widely reported was that bomb blast in Ikeja. Insurance companies in Nigeria pay that claims. The company I was working with paid a single claim of over 400 million to one textile company at Osun. So insurance do pay claims, but people used to call us bad names because they go through wrong hands. You do know that there are fake, like we have fake doctors, we have hospitals that are not registered. So people also patronize insurance that is fake.
They are not genuine.
So when you don't have genuine insurance, you should not expect compensation. So
how can this be avoided?
It's going through an insurance broker, because we know ourselves. We know. In fact, I've seen insurance certificate, motor insurance certificate. I've been in the industry for 30 years now.
Wow.
I've seen an insurance company, an insurance certificate that bears an insurance name that I don't know in Nigeria. But as a novice, as you just handle, you think you have insurance, whereas it's just ordinary paper they sell to you.
How do people know those that are real and those that are fake?
Well, like if you are not a doctor, you may not know that this man is not a qualified doctor. So likewise, if you are not an insurance practitioner, you may not know the difference between the fake and the real. But government, through National Health Commission, is trying to ensure that this fake insurance is eliminated in the insurance industry, because they are giving us bad names in Osun State. That's why we try to come together and provide a common platform for motor vehicle insurance to avoid those people that are selling fake. We have some insurance companies that they are not fake, but we know their capacity. So if we want to insure, we know where to go. It is always advisable go to an insurance broker, because it's like going to a court without a lawyer. It may be very difficult. If you have a good case, you may not win it,
because you won't be able to present
to defend it. So, but if you go to a registered insurance broker that knows the nitty-gritty about insurance, he will always defend your interest.
That's interesting. How do different type of insurance, like benefit, or how do different types of insurance like health, auto, home and life benefit policies holders in specific ways?
Well, like if you have health insurance now, you know that insurance, that health policy will pay at least 90% of your medical expenses.
In Osun, people are enjoying
it. You are enjoying it in Osun, and Osun State government is creating awareness for
that people should
go and patronize OIS.
Yes.
So that's a good policy by the state government. Then if you have motor vehicle insurance now and there is accident, you get compensation. You'll be able to fix your vehicle. I have a friend that his car was stolen. At a gunpoint, if you see, very funnily, he wanted to ease himself. He just stopped by along ring road. He don't even switch off the engine. Before he could come back, they put a gun at him and said, "Oh yeah, run into the bush." And they stole the car. But because the car was insured, he got his money. He bought a new one. So that is the benefit of having insurance. I can continue to count and count. In fact, when they were giving notice of protest about 2 weeks ago, one of my clients called me. I hope my insurance is still in place, because if through that protest, they use the protest to loot in some states. Not to thank God that people in Osun are very peaceful. So there in some other states, they use it to loot. Insurance company will compensate. If you have adequate insurance that covers such loss, they will pay you compensation.
You said something about your friend getting out of the car and his car was stolen. I want you to advise people on that, because some people, they will say, okay, I have an insurance now, and they will not protect their property.
Actually, that guy made it was a wrong assumption that he thought he was safe. Exactly, that happened during daylight. It happened in town. I don't want to mention the precision. It was beside the precision in Osogbo. So he made some assumptions which were wrong. But as you have said, it is always, even the insurance will tell you, you have to act as if uninsured. Don't act. Insurance covers negligence, but absolute negligence is not covered.
Okay. Interesting. So what are the current trends now? Like, okay, how do you approach educating clients about insurance options and policy? Like you said before we started, that people are very difficult. That when you tell someone that come and get insurance, they will tell you, God forbid, you don't want good for me. How do you convince people now?
Well, we are trying our best under our council. We call it corporate visibility. We want the public to be conscious of insurance. In fact, 3 days ago we went to meet the Imperial Majesty Oba Oni of Ife to discuss on how to get people involved in insurance. He's our paramount ruler in the state, even in the Yoruba land. So we went there to talk to him how he can assist the industry to be aware of what insurance is all about. So that is what we are doing, to reach out. Today I'll be meeting a professional body to tell them what insurance is all about. So that is what we are doing, to create awareness and make people understand the importance of insurance. And I always thank the management of OSBC because they are also educating the public about insurance. I said it, if I had opportunity to make policy, I will make study of insurance compulsory in Nigeria, at least elementary aspect of it, so that when you know the importance of it, it is like the blood that is flowing in our body. Insurance is like blood that is flowing. Everybody needs it. There's no an exception. as we are here now, we are exposed to many risks. Are they covered? I'm aware that OSBC building and equipment are
insured,
adequately insured.
Interesting.
Also, state governor is insurance friendly.
Yes.
He's also conscious of insurance and he does not joke with it.
Thank you very much, sir. A kú dédé àsìkò gbogbo àwọn aráalé. A ní onímọ̀ nípa ètò àdójútòfò ní ìkàlẹ̀, Mr. Adele Alam. Wọ́n ti ń bá wa sọ ní àti ẹ̀kan bí a ṣe lè dẹ́kun àdójútòfò. Wọ́n máa bá wa sọ báyìí pé àwọn èèyàn kí ni a lè ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí èmi bí mo ṣe jẹ́ èèyàn tuntun sẹ́yìn sìn tí mo ń bọ̀ pé Mr. Adele o, mo fẹ́ ra ìkan lọ́dọ̀ yín o, pọ́lísì kan ní ọ̀dọ̀ yín o, irú ìmọ̀ràn wo lẹ máa fún mi pé eléyìí kò lọ fún gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn tí ò mọ̀ kankan nípa.
ẹ ṣe ètò mọ́dàndófò làwa ń pè pé tí ó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àwa ilé iṣẹ́ wa ànídáyìndá àdó tí yìí gbágbágbá ni á ràn yín lọ́wọ́. So gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ sì béèrè pé irú ìmọ̀ràn la máa fún yín, alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ náà àwọn dúkìá tẹ́ ẹ ní ó ṣe dandan kẹ́ ẹ dáàbò bò wọ́n lábẹ́ ètò mọ́dàndófò. Ọlọ́run kó máa fìṣẹ́ sọ wa, ṣùgbọ́n gba àwọn tí nǹkan yín ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Ọlọ́run bẹ pẹ̀lú wọn o. Kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ jáde nílé láàárọ̀ tí ò fẹ́ wọlé padà lálẹ́ o, ṣùgbọ́n kì í ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ tó jáde láàárọ̀ ni máa wọlé padà. So àìbàmọ̀ òun ni ètò mọ́dàndófò tó bá wá ṣẹlẹ̀ kí lọ́nà àbáyọ tí ètò wa wà fún nìyẹn. So gbogbo dúkìá ta ní ilé wa, àwọn kan tá a ní sínú ẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀ láyẹ ká gbé sí ètò abẹ́ ètò mọ́dàndófò yìí. Àwa gangan kí a gbéra wa sí abẹ́ ètò mọ́dàndófò. Ẹ mọ́ sọ pé torí pé fún ìjọba Ọ̀ṣun wọ́n ti ṣe mọ́dàndófò ẹ̀mí fún mi, àwa gan tún lè ṣe fúnra gọ́s ẹ̀mí ò níye, a lè fi iye báyìí lé ẹ̀mí wa. So tí ìjọba Ọ̀ṣun bá ṣe fáwa, ẹgbẹ́ wa gan, ẹgbẹ́ àwọn oníròyìn, a lè tún ṣe fúnra wa pé báyìí mọ̀ tí nǹkan bá dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ́mọ ẹgbẹ́, a kàn bá ẹbí dárò, a kàn lọ bá wọn kí wọn, kí tá a ṣe fún wọn pé lórúkọ ẹgbẹ́ tá a wà yìí o, a fún àwọn ẹbí tí ó kúrò ní àárín wa, a fún ní nǹkan báyìí. Ètò mọ́dàndófò kí gbogbo àwọn ìjọ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ wò ní àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan ti ní o tí mo mọ̀ tí ní mọ̀ dárúkọ fáwọn ẹgbẹ́ mọ̀ bá wọn polówó ní orí ètò yìí, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ẹgbẹ́ lè ní, àwa gangan náà tún lè ní. Àwọn nǹkan ìrìnsẹ́ wa tí à ń lò ọ̀yẹ̀ká ni ṣe rí àwọn ọlọ́kadà wa kọ́lọ̀ máa sọ wa ni, àwọn ló ti ẹ̀yẹ kó ní ètò ìjù, torí pé ojoojúmọ́ là ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ṣubú níbí wọ́n ṣubú lọ́hùn. Tèrò bá ṣubú ẹ̀tọ́ wọn ni láti tọ́jú èrò yẹn. Ká ní wọ́n bá ní ètò mọ́dàndófò yìí, wọn ò ní ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa sáré káàkiri láti tọ́jú ẹni tó ṣubú lórí ọ̀kadà wọn.
Ẹ ṣé gan sà, àdúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ yín tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní òwúrọ̀ Mr. Adele Alam. Wọ́n ti ṣàlàyé fún wa ní ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ pé ètò àdójútòfò àwọn ní mádàndófò ni.
Mo sì tún fi kún pé ní mo ti sọ léde fẹ́ntẹ̀fẹ́ntẹ̀ pé tó bá fẹ́ ṣètò mọ́dàndófò fẹ́ gbádùn ẹ̀ tó fẹ́ jẹ àǹfààní ẹ̀ mọ́ dá sí o, mọ́ lọ dá sí, lọ rí àwọn tá à ń pè ní agbódegbà rẹ̀ intermediary, àwa ni ààbọ̀ ṣètò tó fi jẹ́ pé ó lè jàǹfààní ètò mọ́dàndófò tó bá ṣe.
Wọ́n ní àwọn làwọn wà ní ìgbẹ́nu
ilé ẹgbẹ́ wa.
Kẹwàá rí àwọn torí oríṣiríṣi ni ó wà. Ẹ ṣé o, àdúpẹ́ ní ọwọ́ yín. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for joining us once again in the studio this morning. To all the crew in the studio, thank you very much. Thanks for the good work. My name is Mariam Owodunni. Bye for now.
Nigeria is one of the superpowers in football in Africa.